Hey guys, what's going on? We're back with the last solo shuffle of season 3, and I'm not gonna lie, I am so glad this season is over because as you can see, this lobby is terrible. Against 3 S tier specs, and they're fighting a F tier spec. Great. But anyways, yeah, it's mostly just been I haven't enjoyed the ending of the season at all. Hunter has just felt so oppressive. Unholy DK, although it's not as oppressive as Marksman Hunter, and the same goes with Demon Hunter, it's still not all that enjoyable to fight, because as you can see, I basically died. I had to double up on my defensives, although on me I probably should have used Ancestral Shift much earlier. It's still not enjoyable getting hit for 7 to 8 million aim shots just out of nowhere. Anyways, me and the Demon Hunter, we agreed, let's try and hit this Marksman Hunter as much as possible. And I'm just getting trained down by the Unholy DK while the Marksman just kind of does whatever he wants because we can't really stop him. We don't have much of a disarm, and stuns, as they are helpful and effective, they don't really work all that well against hunters unless you time them perfectly. But even then, they're still getting off those lock and load shots. And as you can see, I just went poof, and we didn't get a link off or anything, which really bad. Now, maybe because I don't catch any of the grounding or the frost traps, I don't think I probably should have went with burrow instead. That probably would have been a better idea. But you play it, you learn. It is what it is. So I dropped grounding totem early here just to hopefully protect my healer a little bit, and it does ground a bit of the unholy DK's damage. But as you can see, even with my defensive up and stuff, I'm still getting absolutely monstered down. And now Ancestral Shift has fallen, and I am focusing a lot on healing surges since I have Stormweaver, especially mixed with the talent that causes Tempest to increase the healing it receives. It does feel pretty good. But as you can see, the Hunter almost fell over there, but was saved by the Link. I get pretty low, so I go ahead and drop my Stone Bulwark here and just want to, try to save myself. And the priest calls out Dome, so we're just going to try and sit in that and keep ourselves safe as much as possible, because this priest isn't having the greatest time trying to keep us alive. But there's not much I can offer other than self heals, which doesn't quite work out all the time anyways. So I get a nice big healing surge and pop off. We stabilize a little bit more. I have 20 seconds on Ancestral Shift, so I'm going to head and pull out Rocky, you know, try and keep myself alive for a little bit longer, spamming my spenders. My poor healer is silenced with the poison, so maybe I should have had Poison Cleanse, but I end up falling as he grips me back. So I was trying to just spend and heal, right? So maybe I should have backed off entirely. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's myself and the Marksman Hunter now this time. And these guys are very much focused on the Marksman Hunter, and it makes sense. You want to shut them down. But first they start on me, and just try to CC out the Hunter because I am the easier target to bring down. And like last time, there's not much they can do to shut down a Marksman Hunter since they don't have the disarm and stuff. But as you can see, I am doing a significant amount of healing to myself. I'm helping my healer not spend too much mana, but even then it is quite chaotic. As you can see, my health is dipping around a lot. So I'm literally just trying to keep them in the open, so that way my Marksman Hunter has free reign over them. And I want to make sure that my Hunter can also get some CC onto the Shaman, while my Priest is able to stay safe far away from the Shaman so he doesn't get interrupted, right? So that's kind of my goal. So staying in the center seems to be my best bet. But as you can see, I get very, very low, and there's the priest swap, so it was definitely close, but we're saved by the bell, thankfully. My priest gets gripped in, but he gets a nice fear off onto the DK, which kind of forces him to trinket, which is nice. So we get a little bit of extra. I go ahead, catch an interrupt onto the shaman, and my hunter is able to catch a scatter right after that, and we're able to bring down the demon hunter just in time. So definitely scored a nice kill there. There's definitely a bit of luck, but hey. So this time around, I'm thinking this exact same thing, right? They probably want to go for me, and so I'm going to bring them out into the open and make sure they can't line of sight my hunter. Well, news for me is they want my hunter. So I'm not really gonna be a threat to them, is what they're saying. You're no threat. You're an enhanced shaman. You're useless. And I would be like, yeah, fair. Anyways, I tried to go for a interrupt on the priest, and as you can see, I failed that. He gets a nice kick onto the priest with his ultimate penitence, and then here I back off for a second. I'm able to catch a hex before his ultimate penitence goes off, which is great. So I figured, ooh, maybe we can catch the kill here, but the priest is able to just quickly top off the demon hunter as we bring him back down to half health. But my hunter is having a tough time staying alive. He really is. I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of damage going out right now. It really does suck. It sucks. And there's not a whole lot I can do, but here in a second, I'm gonna fall back for just a second and try to catch a hex onto the unholy DK, and try to stop a little bit of the damage, right? Just make the damage fall off a little bit. I definitely need to be interrupting the priest a whole lot more. But as you can see there, the Restless Shaman went for a hex on the Demon Hunter, which was fine, but unfortunately we broke it really fast, which sucked. But you can see the 2 DPS are definitely falling over pretty well, and we're getting them low. I don't have much for defense lately, so I am trying to salvage my stone bulwark, but I can see our healer struggling, so I go ahead and pop stone bulwark a bit early, and I try to spot heal my hunter as much as I can, trying to back off, heal him, go for a little hex, and then the demon hunter catches me and hits me with a hunt, and I just barely make it into the link, which is fine. And then I'm trying to spam anything, but I just cannot keep myself alive, and the demon hunter brings me down. So quite the unfortunate take there. So now it's myself and the unholy DK, and he mentioned let's try and go for the hunter. Let's do it. So I agreed. I was like, that's probably our best bet because we're not really going to be able to do a whole lot to the demon hunter. So I'm just gonna kind of sit here. The shaman's doing a great job CCing the demon hunter off of me, and I'm able to somewhat connect to the marksman hunter. So I pop ascendance, blast everything, and you can see he's taking quite a significant amount of damage. Dropping to half. He gets the pain suppression and probably survival instincts or whatever it is that hunters can use. And it mitigates all of our damage. So it definitely sucks, but we got a few defensives out of it. And you can see I'm getting really dicily low there. So he drops a link really early, which is fair. I was able to knock them away, so I don't think I was fully in danger, but it's very scary for a healer to let you sit that low without dropping a cooldown, which is fair. So there, I saw the scatter and I saw the trap, but I globaled myself and did not get the grounding off, so it sucked. So I tried to drop below, maybe get the demon hunter down below. The shaman gets a really nice lasso, but I ended up messing up, and I thought I could feral lunge to the hunter, but I couldn't. So it's definitely a screw up. But here we get a nice little lineup with some CC onto the priest. But he's able to just pain suppress the hunter, and he's able to just survive. So it definitely sucks. But you can see we just poof. And I have stone bulwark totem, as you can see, but I didn't press it early enough. And yeah, so it's been a great match so far, hasn't it? God, I'm just so glad this season's over. I'm not gonna lie. It hasn't been fun at all because everything you fight is marksman hunter, DK, or anything like that. It's really annoying. So this time around, our DK mentioned, you know what? Let's just try and go for the healer, right? Because he seems like he has the least amount of gear, which is fair. He did have very little gear. So I was like, sure, let's try it. So I'm trying to somewhat stay in line of sight of my priest while trying to keep the hunter on his toes. And you can see we get the shaman very, very low. He's scarily low, and he's terrified. So we're like, okay, we get some defensives out of him. He hides behind a pillar. So I'm like, let's kind of hit the DPS, and that's what the unholy DK is doing. But I kind of see that, but I get absolutely blasted, right? As you can see, I dropped really hard again, and there's the life swap. It's just like, what the crap just happened? So I ended up pressing Stone Bulwark as well because I just basically had global and I used it. So I see the DK. He pulled in the shaman, so I go ahead and hex the marksman because I figure that that's probably my best plan here, and it kind of makes a difference. It stops a little bit of damage. I get banished, and he sends a name shot into it, which is fine for me. So we get a little bit of a breather here, which is great. So we kind of stabilize. There's the link, so we're like, oh, okay, that's the. I think that's like the last CD he had. So we just got a little bit to go, and we're running after him. And the DK's doing a great job at gripping him, keeping him near me as well, which is great. But you can just see we're taking damage like nothing. I get a nice little ascendance proc, so the shaman LOS me, so I just go ahead and quickly send it onto the marksman hunter. A little bit of a scare tactic, and he backs off just a little bit, but the shaman gets away. I'm dipping low. I'm just spamming. He's so low, and we just get him as I hit 1%. And we still gain rating somehow. Anyways, guys, that is it for the season. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Laters!